Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is 4 Paws in a Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and down below. Today we are going on a little choose your own adventure. In this video, I am going to be reading 50% of 2 brand new horror thriller releases. At the end of this video, it's going to be up to you to decide which book you think I'm going to like more. Then you're going to click on the next video that's associated with the book that you chose, and you'll see if you're right. If you're right, you'll continue on to the next set of books, and if you're wrong, we'll circle back and you'll have to go watch the right video. I have 10 books in this challenge, so there are potentially 10 videos that you're about to watch. Don't worry, they're only like 5 or 6 minutes long. But I thought this would be a really fun way to A, read down my physical TBR and get through some of these thrillers and horrors that have been sitting on my shelves for a long time, or ones I was just really excited about and I wanted to read right away. And then B, I also thought it would be a really fun way for you guys to interact with my content. And if you guys like this format, I actually have an idea to do this in January for Booktubers' favorite books, and we'll pit Booktubers against each other. But that's neither here nor there. Today we're talking about thrillers and horrors. So the first pair of books are going to be anticipated new releases. These are books that I had on my anticipated reads and I'm very excited about them, and I either pre-ordered them and or bought them as soon as they came out. So I wanted to make sure they didn't stay on my shelves very long. The second one will be going old school, and we will be talking about books that have been on my shelves for a very long time. Like 2 to 3 years. It's fine. The third pair of books is going to be sci-fi horror books or sci-fi thrillers. I really love that genre blend, and I do have a few of those, so I wanted to try that out and see which one I liked more. And then leaning into that same kind of concept, the fourth one is actually going to be snowy thrillers and horrors. The 2 books are people trying to climb very tall mountains and finding things that are not fun out there. And then my last one is going to be 2 books that were on the Goodreads Choice Awards horror category for 2022. As we are getting closer to the 2023 Goodreads Choice Awards, I wanted to take a look at some of last year's winners. So you'll hear more about them as we go through these, but I am going to talk about the first 2, which are the new releases that are in this video. And the first one is going to be Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. This is kind of a like Bonnie and Clyde type thriller. This is actually the first book that I've read from Ashley Winstead. I have In My Dreams I Hold the Knife and The Last Housewife that's been sitting on my shelf forever, but I haven't read anything from her. So we're gonna start with her newest one. And this one takes place in a southern town, very kind of backwoods. There is a religious aspect to it, some cult aspects to it. I've heard really good things about this one. Then the second one is also the first book that I've read from her before, and that is Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. It also has a cult aspect to it, and this is about a woman who escapes her family cult and then has to go back for, I think, her cousin's wedding. And then, you know, things happen, as things do in a horror. So with that said, let's get into the vlog portion of this video. I'll be reading the first 50% in this video, and then you can move on to the next one. Hello, we're starting our first book. I'm going to read to 50% in this video of both of the books, and then you will get to decide which one you think I'm gonna like better, and then we'll go from there. That's how this video is going to start. So the first book that we are reading for this is Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. This is a new release. It came out, I want to say, in September. I've never read from Rachel Harrison before, but I own Cackle, which I wanted to read last spooky season. I know Michelle gave it 5 stars, and I've almost picked it up a couple of times this past year, and I haven't. So instead, we're going to start our adventure with Rachel with Black Sheep. And the funny thing is that both books that I am reading for this specific video also have like religious aspects and kind of like cult-like aspects to this. And that was accidental. I didn't mean to do that. I just picked 2 new releases, and I guess that tells you what like subconsciously I like to in my thrillers and horrors. So this is about a woman who left her family, left her church, and like it's a cult. And she lives in New York, and she goes back for her cousin's wedding. She received an invitation, and now she's like kind of showed up, and she's met with some mixed emotions. Like her mother is like, "What are you doing here? You need to leave. You're not welcome here." But then her aunt and her cousin actually really want her to be there. But then her cousin is like marrying the guy that she had a thing for in high school. It's a whole messy situation. We haven't gotten to the horror part of it, and I'm not really sure, like, does Rachel Harrison do more cozy horror? I think Cackle is kind of referred to as cozy horror, so maybe this one is too. It's funny. There's a lot of like comedic moments in it, and also the like conversation about religious trauma and, you know, deconstructing and things like that. I'm really bad shadow. Anyways, it's very interesting and I'm having time with it. So I'll check back and give you an update at 50% when you will decide which one you think I'm gonna like better. Hello, it's much later in the evening, hence the darkness. But I don't want to turn my lights on because I'm just sitting here cozy. I'm crocheting and I'm listening to the audiobook. I'm 50% of the way through, so we're going to stop reading this now and we're going to be picking up the second one, but I thought I would let you know what I'm thinking about. Okay, here's the thing. This book just dropped a plot twist right at the 50% mark, and I am mad because I can't continue reading this book. Like, what? I am very excited to continue reading this now, but it's gonna have to wait until later this weekend because I need to finish or I need to get to the 50% mark of Midnight is the Darkest Hour, which I also am really excited to read, but I haven't started that one yet, so I don't know yet. Well, let's just say the bar is set very high here, so here we are. Okay, I'm gonna come back tomorrow and we will talk about Midnight is the Darkest Hour. Hello, I should have checked in with you sooner, but I didn't. But I listened to just over 50% of Midnight is the Darkest Hour today, like just listening to it on audio, and I think so far this is really good. The hook is so strong. Like, it opens up with these two kids and something horrible has happened and they're trying to cover it up, and then we flash back to our present day where potentially it is things are coming to light that they have tried to keep hidden for so long, and it's really interesting. I do think it's more of a thriller than a horror. I, for some reason, thought it was horror, but I do think it's more of a thriller. There is this talk of like the lone man, and like there's like saying that this man has like been resurrected and he's like causing havoc. So anyway, it's very intriguing. It's very much like a character study. I think we're really getting into the heads of the main characters, so that's really interesting. But here's where we're gonna leave the video. So not to leave you on a cliffhanger or anything like that, I am 50% of the way through both of these books right now, and I couldn't tell you which one I'm gonna like better. It's really interesting how we are dealing with the religious aspect of it and the cult aspect of it, and I know this was an accident where these books actually were really similar, but they're dealing with it in a really different way. Like, this one is satire, right? Like, this one is dealing with the cult aspect in kind of a humorous way, and it's definitely a choice, and I'm kind of liking it. But then this one is doing it in a very serious way, and it's dealing with a character who is still very much in the web of the religion of the church, whereas the main character in this one has already left. So there's some similarities to this, but it's just going about it from a really different perspective. But yeah, I'm 50% of the way through both of these, and I don't know which one I'm going to like more. So good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. If you think that I am going to like Black Sheep better, click on this video here. And if you think that I am going to like Midnight is the Darkest Hour, click on this video right here. And I'll see you in those, and we'll read the second half of this book.